This is World History News. Breaking news. Great Chinese Admiral Zheng He has died on this day in 1434. The commander and his contributions will be greatly missed.
Let's take it to Gabby in the field to give us a little more insight on this tragedy.
On his 7th expedition, explorer and leader of the treasure fleet, Zheng He passed away due to disease that he caught while making a final round trip through the Indian Ocean. The Jiande Emperor decided to send him and his junks on a final round in attempts to finalize relationships and institute more trade. Upon his passing, Zheng He's crew buried his body at sea near Calicut. He was 60 years old. For those of you interested in paying your respects, his tomb will be located in Nanjing.
Born in 1371, Zheng He grew up in a poor Muslim family. Until the age of 10, he was influenced by his father's strong militaristic ideals in the town of Kunyang, which is in the territory of Yunnan. Then suddenly, the Chinese military forces struck his area, killing his father and capturing him in the process. They had Zheng He castrated, taught in the ways of the eunuchs, and assigned to the house of Zuidi, the Prince of Yan and the Emperor's fourth son. Although he was raised Islamic, he grew to adapt and respect the Chinese religious practices. In the process of becoming a eunuch, Zheng He became well educated through Confucius schooling. His large stature and his height of 7 feet tall allowed him to earn the reputation of a brave, intelligent soldier near the year of 1399. A few years later, in 1402, the Yongle Emperor appointed him the head of a huge fleet of 317 junks, run by a crew of 27,000 men. By the age of 35, he achieved the highest title ever acquired by a eunuch in all of Chinese history. Between the years 1405 and 1432, Zheng He's ships, the treasure fleet, launched 7 expeditions. As he brought tribute from Saudi Arabia, India, Kenya, Somalia, and other foreign lands, he earned titles such as Three Jewels or San Bao. Shortly after he was appointed such great titles, the current emperor and the man who built him militaristically, Zhu Di, launched attacks on the Mongols. Zheng He also played a great role in gaining the throne for him in dethroning Chu Yunwen. The treasure fleet's first expedition launched in response to the fleet of the former emperor in hopes to capture him and remove a threat dangling above their heads. From there, 6 more expeditions followed, gaining ground for China economically and politically. Beyond that, Zheng He grew increasingly less popular amongst the government officials. They feared his strength, growing influence, and the cost his endeavors created. On his last voyage, Zheng He met his death in the form of a disease. Many of his records have been destroyed by the members of a Chinese government, but his strength and his bravery will live on. Now, to a live interview with Ricky and a special guest.
Actually, Lee wasn't able to make it here, so we're going to be on video conference with her right now. So, as a good friend and associate of Zheng He, how do you think his achievements affected China this far?
Zheng He united 36 countries under the Sun of Heaven, or the Chinese overlord. Ultimately, this brought an expansion of political influence and united many nations under trade. This is seen through the fact that our porcelain can be found in every country he visited. Really, he was a great aid to cultural diffusion.
How do you think his death will affect China?
I think that China will see an end to global exchange and they will turn back to their ways of isolation because they won't have Zheng He to link the foreign countries along the Indian Ocean.
Was the economy affected at all by your friend Zheng He?
Definitely. He brought exotic animals, jewels, and medicine into China while exchanging silk and gold in Southeast Asia, Africa, some Arabian territories, as well as India. I heard that the pepper delivered from his ship on this last voyage will be able to pay the army as a form of currency for years.
Alright, last question. How do you think Zheng He brought other countries into a frequent relationship with China?
He encouraged local leaders to join under the Ming dynasty by first swearing them under the emperor and then influenced them with gifts of gold. Zheng He negotiated trade pacts and installed his own kings to command with total power. They paid tribute in turn. China agreed to refrain from harassing them.
Thank you so much for your time. Now back to Lindsay and Alexis.
It was so enlightening.
Yes, it was. I'm very thankful we were able to get such good insight into Zheng He's death and the impact it'll have.
For more information, visit our website at www.edline.net/AP World History.
Thanks for watching. We will see you next week when we investigate who Columbus really was.